Merry Christmas everyone and welcome back to another video. And in this video, we are going through all things regarding Geelong. Now this has been a video that has been requested many times and I thought what better day to do it on than Christmas. Because we're in the festive spirit, let's talk about a location with plenty of potential and also questionable upside in some regards. Now for those of you who don't know, Geelong is a location that is southwest of Melbourne CBD. In fact, it's very close to Melbourne CBD. It's very close to Avalon Airport as well. And it's a huge regional location. In fact, some might not even call it regional just because that's how big it is and that's how close it is to Melbourne CBD. And it is a location with full of potential, but there are some caveats and I do want to go through it and I do want to break down some suburbs within Geelong and really explain my thoughts around this location and the future of it going into 2026. And just before I go into it, guys, if you haven't already, jump into the private paid community. It's literally $35 a month. We go through different locations every single day, helping different investors work through different issues. There's one-to-one mentorship, there is community calls you can get access to, there is personalized advice and help, and there's so much knowledge with access to suburb watch lists, different resources, spreadsheets, templates, and so much more. And there's also 30-day money back guarantee, guys. So you have absolutely nothing to lose. Go check it out. It is an absolute bargain. And we have over 300 members, so you're just missing out by not being a part of it. Now, with all things, I love to go through the data first regarding Geelong because that gives us a clear indication of what is happening in this market. Now, when we look at it, Geelong is a massive play. So when you look at it on a surface level, you see an $890,000 buy price with a yield of around 3%. Now, quite honestly, you can get properties anywhere from about $600,000 up to $1 million in Geelong and more, with yields ranging from around 3% to about 5% maximum, in my opinion, and from what I've seen. But that doesn't mean all suburbs are created equal, and we should be very specific and intentional about what suburbs we go into. And so what I like to do is on hashtag, I do have certain metrics that I do like to put in. One of them being confidence. I don't like to have any markets with the confidence of low. I put days on market less than 40 days, so it's selling within a month. With the stock on market levels, I put less than 1%, so the market is very tight, almost guaranteeing us capital growth in the near future. I've put affordability index under 35 years, which is very important because we want the locations to generally be affordable to local residents so that there is room for capital growth to occur. Now, I've put the days on market short slope to be less than zero, so that means the days on market is decreasing, which means properties are selling quicker. And I have put the yield greater than 3%. Now, this is the first caveat. I would never invest in a property with a 3% yield. In fact, my minimum buffer is 4.5% yield. I generally like to get above 5%. In some markets, it's not possible to get above a 5% yield, but still nonetheless, I'm just putting it to capture in some locations. And the rented to owner occupier ratio, I've put less than 40 because I don't like to invest into locations with a very high amount of investors and renters because that just means more competition for me. And so what happens is from 105 total entries, I get to about 6 suburbs that I can choose from, which is just a very small handful. And there are a couple of things you will notice straight away. Now, with a lot of these suburbs, you can see the average yield is around 3.5 to maximum 4.14%. Now, across these suburbs, I would not invest anything less than 4% yield. I really target for 4.5 and above, and I think that you should do the same as well because cash flow is incredibly important when trying to build a property portfolio. And so when you start to look at some of these suburbs, for example, Belmont, it's a very popular suburb to invest in at the moment. And when you start to look through the data, you can see around $750,000 buy price with around a 3.4% yield. And you start to scroll down, you can actually see the market is moving with about a 4% increase over the past 12 months. In fact, some properties would have done better already. Rents haven't been rising, which is around 0%, which is not a good sign to see. And we can actually see that yields are starting to come lower and lower as property prices are starting to go up. When you start to look at the fundamentals and the socioeconomics, it's a very good picture. ERSAT score of 6, the rented to owner occupier ratio is around 35%, which is very healthy. And then you look at the affordability index of under 35 years, which means it's still very affordable to local residents. And then when you look at the data, you can see a slight uptick in stock on market levels, but the overall trend currently currently at the moment is that the stock levels are incredibly low. The market is picking up. It is starting to grow in capital, and you can see that demand is really picking up as well. Now, vacancy rates is a little bit on the higher side with around 2%. Now, this is something you're going to see quite common across Geelong and Victoria with a lot more investors buying into the market. We're going to see this vacancies rate start to spike up a little bit more, even though it's on a downward trend at the moment. I still expect it to go up over the near term future. Now, that's one example of a suburb in Geelong. Belmont is a very, very popular location, very owner-occupier friendly, good socioeconomics, and it's a suburb that has a pretty high median price. Now, another location very similar, a pretty high buy-in price around 780 with a 3% yield, 3.5. You can see the prices are moving in an upward direction. The rents are pretty low, and once again, pretty good socioeconomics and very affordable for a regional location like Geelong, which means there's plenty of room for it to grow. And demand is just really, really high at the moment, with properties being sold in less than a month. And stock levels overall is pretty low as well. And that's another suburb within Geelong that is starting to pick up. And what you often find is the trend within Geelong at the moment is that stock levels in an overall basis, when you look at the bigger picture of things, it is starting to move up in capital. The rental growth isn't that strong. It's 0 to 3% in most regional areas. And when you start to look, the overall stock levels are very low and demand is just picking up constantly. However, the one thing that you will notice across the board with the Geelong is that yields are very, very low, and it's only going to get worse from here on out. In fact, when you look at a suburb like Corai, and I'm showing this example on purpose, is that this suburb, when you look at it from a fundamentals perspective, yes, it has grown around 13% already over the past 12 months. It's done extremely well. The rents have not grown at all, which is not a good sign. The socioeconomics it is an ERSAT score of 1. It has a 40% renter to owner occupier ratio, so on that cusp that I like, but there's already a lot of renters there. A lot of more investors are coming in and buying in. Stock levels are incredibly low and demand levels are very high. So for the foreseeable future, Corio, even though it's probably one of the most questionable suburbs throughout the entirety of Geelong, because it's been so affordable, it has done extremely well and it's going to continue to do well into 2026 as well. However, this is an example of one that was sold for $615,000, which is a 3x1, right? It's a very nice property, nice brick home, great interior overall, and you can't really fault this property. When you start to look at the potential rental returns, 3x1s, this one is getting 380, this is getting 410, a 3x2 is 470, 450. And so when you put the numbers into the property sheet calculator, $615,000 buy price at $425, you're getting a 3.5% yield. At $450, only about a 3.8% yield, which is incredibly low, and it makes building a portfolio pretty hard. That means you are negative around $15,000 per year and around $1,200 per month. Now, after tax, you're getting about negative at $10K per year, which isn't too bad. But this is assuming that you get the higher end of the market of around $450. If you were to get $410, you're getting around negative $17,000. If you're getting even less than that, around $380 at 3.2% yield, worst case scenario, you're around negative $18,000 per year, which is simply not acceptable as an investment opportunity. Now, I know what I'm saying sounds counterintuitive. I'm saying Geelong, Corio, it's still going to grow in value in 2026, but this to me is not acceptable numbers for an investment purchase. We were investing in Geelong 12 months ago when the yields were around 4.5 to 5% in Corio, where it made sense to make that trade-off between renter to owner occupier ratio, high yields, and good regional location. But nowadays, 12 months on in 2025 and Christmas, it doesn't make too much sense anymore. Now, there will be specific investors out there who can stomach this level of negative cash flow and continue to build a portfolio because they're on extremely high incomes, but this is not the sort of numbers I want to see when choosing an investment property. And I think a lot of people in today's day and age, amongst the buyers, agent hype and the marketing and stuff, Geelong, I must agree with you on a fundamental level from an economic perspective, from a location perspective, it is one of the best locations to invest into long term. You can buy and hold an asset for a really long time. However, right now, some of the yields across these suburbs like Corio, like Belmont, Groverdale, Whittington, it's just very, very low. I'm not going to just show you this one example. I'll show you another one that's recently sold. This one was sold for $646,000, which is a 3x2 on 670 square meters of land. Once again, a very nice property, great interior, looks rentable straight away, no issues from that perspective. When you start to look at the rental returns, 3x1, 510 per week, 3x1, 490, 470, 3x2, 480, but that's a weatherboard house. Not many 3x2s in this area area, but you're getting around 450, 470 for a 3x1. So best case scenario or an acceptable case scenario, I'm going to put around 520 for this property. So you get a 4.2% yield, which not too bad. It's pretty good. It's around negative $15,000 cash flow. So much better than a 3.2% yield property, for example. This is like, I would say, the better case scenario. If worst case scenario around 470, 3.8% yield. So once again, the cash flow position of these properties in Geelong, it's not very strong. And I'm going to keep hammering this point in until you guys as viewers understand my perspective. And I think Geelong, and I've done full breakdown videos of Geelong throughout the years before. Geelong is very good, economically sound. However, yield-wise, cash flow-wise, you need to really be speaking with your mortgage broker and asking the question, if I bought a property in Geelong for 3.5% yields, how many more properties can I buy? When can I buy them? Will I be locked out of the property market for a really long period of time? Especially if your buyer's agent is pushing you towards Geelong to buy a property here at a very low percentage yield, please be careful because you do not want to be buying properties on too low of a yield. It makes buying properties in the future very hard. But for the foreseeable future, at the moment, Geelong is still going to perform pretty well into 2026. The market is looking still solid, very low stock levels, very high demand levels, which only means one thing when it comes to property economics: prices go up, right? When there is low stock and high demand, capital growth is inevitable. However, from a yield perspective, eventually it's going to slow down, at least the investor side, in my opinion. So for those of you who are looking for certain suburbs to consider in Geelong, this is a pretty good list that you see on the screen right here, right now. Please be careful. The yields are low. The vacancy rates of some of these locations are very high. So please make sure that you choose the right location to invest into. Even places like Armstrong Creek are on the very edge of Geelong, which is all new developments. It's not ideal to purchase here, a lot of developable land. Try pick closer towards the CBD of the location. There are still some great opportunities out there to get above 4.5% yields across some of these locations. Some of the properties will require some work, but it's a great opportunity to get in, increase the yield of your property and hold it long term. I think Geelong is a great location, but the yield is my biggest concern. And I know we focus a lot on capital growth in today's property market, but I don't want people to forget that yield is also incredibly important. Yield is the oil towards your car. Yield is so critically important, guys. It's not talked about enough. I want to talk about it more. So invest in Geelong at your own risk. It's likely to grow in the future, but you really need to understand your numbers before investing in here. Till next time, thank you very much, guys.